Oh yeah. So for example, someone put in the chat that they know a block of flats near a hospital that's going for a mill. So if anyone's interested, 2 minutes later, someone's like, yeah, I got an investor for that.
I look at my mom and she's like, oh my God, she's getting older. And I look at my account, I'm like, that number needs to go up too.
Yeah, we're always thinking, oh, they don't get me. They're just so behind.
Oh, I know.
They're just...
Like, why don't you see division?
Like
there's much...
You've just got an old mindset. You got a poor mindset, broke mindset. Because I don't want to look back and be like, yeah, okay, I built this, but what's happened?
At what cost,
Yeah, exactly. So you always got to keep that in mind. And I feel like some people can get so caught up with the grind and the journey and what they're trying to achieve that they can kind of like skip past the people who are helping them along the way, like family members and maybe your relationship or someone.
Alright, so today is the day. Today is the day where you guys are watching the Grow Club podcast.
Welcome back.
We are back. Thank you guys for tuning in last week, and if you haven't been tuning in, thank you very much.
What episode is this?
Today is episode 8.
Ooh.
Episode 8. Last week was the Valentine's episode, so I hope you guys all enjoyed your Valentine's, whether or not
you're with yourself or with a loved one.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to say.
Whether
or not you're by yourself, lonely at home, watching movies by yourself.
That's not nice.
No, but that's the reality. No, some people were.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're lonely. Some people thrive alone.
Yeah, sorry. I wasn't trying
That's
to.
so mean.
I wasn't. And anyway, I hope you guys get my point. But whether or not you're with someone or not, I hope you guys enjoyed your week. Hope you had a fantastic week, productive week.
Yeah.
A fun week, a fulfilled week.
I see you had your fighter's stance there. Is that because you've been going to a special class recently?
Yeah, so guys, you may or may not know, me and Jasmine have started kickboxing.
Yes, I've been to one class. It felt like you know when you watch Maths, like Married at First Sight, or any dating show where they do like a couple activity.
Yeah.
It felt like that.
Yeah, that's really good.
Because when the guy said switch partners, I was like, Mike, don't leave me.
For people who've been to like boxing, or not even just boxing, but like classes in general, like even salsa and stuff, normally there's a point where you have to swap partners.
I don't mind switching in salsa.
Jazz was not trying to switch at all.
Yeah, because I don't know what I'm doing, and the other people knew what they're doing.
Yeah, but I didn't know what I was doing either.
And
so like bad. I said, it was the blind leading the blind, because I was trying to, obviously I've done a bit before, but then it's like, because you haven't a clue.
Yeah.
Where I'm just vibing, man. I'm just there
because I know what it was. I can imagine what, if I paired up with another guy, I know how they would have probably felt, which would have been like, oh geez, I got to take it easy.
Yeah, but what about wow. What about what? Oof, Lord. What about what you would have learned?
Yeah,
that's the point.
I'm just so selfless that I think of the other person. Not
You're
myself.
such a good person, but you need to snap out of that.
Yeah.
And we need to swap partners.
But I did feel bad for you though.
Yeah, but how was it? Your first like kickboxing class?
It was good. It's like learning how to dance, because you got to learn certain steps.
Yeah.
And then put it in action.
Yeah, facts.
So yeah, I've got another one booked tomorrow, so we're going to go tomorrow.
Yeah, facts.
But I would like to try a boxing session as well. So kickboxing and boxing.
You'll have to join then. Yeah, because they do everything there. But you need to get membership then. So I'm definitely getting it, because I need to.
Yeah.
I've noticed I'm going to change my content strategy. So I feel like I want to intimidate people into following me now. So if I start posting kickboxing content, they're like, shit, if I don't follow this guy, he's gonna do something about it. Yeah, he's gonna do something about it. So I think that's my new strategy going.
So instead of like when you see someone in the street, instead of saying, hey bro, get handshake, fist bump, just gonna go with your foot. Just gonna kick
I'm not
them.
gonna be that bad. I just want people.
But then how are you gonna threaten people then?
People look, when someone goes on my page, they're like, oh, this is a cool video. But then when they see the kickboxing video, it's like, oh shit.
Do you not think that might scare them away?
No, it's gonna be, let me follow in case he sees me on the street and I'm not following. That's the strategy. Hey, look, it's a strategy. I didn't say it's gonna work. I'm gonna try it. I'll post a few videos.
Let's see how that goes. Yeah.
We'll see. But anyway, look, how was your week? Yeah, you did a few stuff this week outside of kickboxing.
I've had a really busy weekend, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tired today.
Wake up.
Really tired today.
Wake up. You just had your coffee.
Yeah, I know, but I'm really tired because it's just been a full-on weekend. My mum is here.
Woo! Shout out to Rita.
Yes, shout out to Rita. So it's been really nice having her here. Picked her up on Friday, and then I took her to a women's conference at a different church. So not a local church, a different church, on Saturday. So that was really nice.
How was it?
It was all women pretty much. There was a couple of guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. I felt like I needed to go because I don't want to maybe not rely, but I don't want to think that God is only at my church, because then I'm going for my church, not for God.
Yeah.
So it was really like, not a test, but it was something for me to try and be like, okay, can I feel God here?
Yeah, just kind of prove to yourself that
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
go
exactly.
to the churches. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I was really nervous, but I had my mum with me, so it was nice, and nice women's.
You're nervous?
Nervous going to new places and...
Yeah, okay, I suppose, yeah.
But it was really nice. We actually saw someone that we knew from our local church, not a woman.
It's
so
who
it was
you guys
hilarious.
are cheating on our church, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really good. The message was really, really powerful as well. And yeah, it's just really nice that I'm bringing my mum to church.
I was about to say, like, not normally it's the other way around.
Yeah.
What's it like now that you're bringing her?
Oh, it's really
nice. How is she taking it all in?
Oh, she loves it. She absolutely loves it. Like when we first moved to Manchester and we took my parents to church, we were like, by the way, guys, make sure you're up because we've got church at 9:00.
Yeah.
And I was rushing everyone out the door, and I was like, wow, this is me now. You're not rushing me. I'm rushing you.
Yeah.
So it's really nice that I'm bringing her back to church, because we grew up in a Catholic church, so very, very different, very strict, not really, but that enjoyable. So now I'm bringing her to a church where she can dance and she can praise and she can just, she just loves it.
She was actually saying to me yesterday, like, how much you've changed.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's like you're a completely different person. Like, because even the fact, like, someone invited you to do like a Bible study coffee date, where if that was last year, you'd be like, Bible study.
I was like, nerd.
To do what? Yeah, you're a loser.
I know, like, Mike, get a load of this. Get a load of this guy.
Yeah, I swear.
No, people.
But now, like, you're like, yeah, let's do it. Like,
yeah, people invited me to Bible study ages ago before I moved here, and I never went back.
Yeah,
I was like, I can't go back in case they like try and corner me.
Yeah,
these Bible people.
That's nuts. Yeah.
I know, and now I'm like, yeah, sure. What cafe do you want to go to? I'll bring my Bible and highlighters.
That's God, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's really nice. She enjoys it, and it's really nice bringing her to church and seeing her.
Did you learn anything interesting in the conference?
Yeah, it was very timely. What the pastor was speaking about, and even in today's service, what the pastor was speaking about was how you need to be an intercessor to others. So they did a study at a recent university. They did a recent study at a university.
I have to say.
I'm tired. And it was how many of those students were Christians, and I don't think most of them weren't anyway, but 70% of the non-believers said that they would go to church if someone or a friend invited them. And that's crazy when you think about it. It's like, okay, you're a non-believer, but if your friend said, hey, I'm going to church on Sunday, do you want to come?
Yeah.
They would have said yes.
Yeah.
And that's 70%, 75%.
Yeah,
which is a crazy number.
You just need that invitation.
So really the service was about being an intercessor and talking about God to your friends and your family, because it's like, well, if they're living their life a certain way, it's in their best interest to at least have the option to live their life a better way. Yeah. And if you know how they can achieve that, why wouldn't you tell them?
Yeah.
You'd be doing them a disservice. Like you said the other day, you'd be doing them a disservice.
By not saying it.
Not saying it. And you said that to me before the service.
Yeah.
So by the time
you heard it in there, yeah.
By the time I went to the service and she was saying all of this, and even today at the service, the guy was saying all of this.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I think I just need to
just do it.
Just speak about it more and not be a lukewarm Christian.
Yeah. So I think just on that, I feel like you have no issue doing that, but I think with the scenario we were speaking about it wasn't even just solely based on faith. It was just more so telling someone something that you feel will benefit them, but they may not take it the right way. And obviously, because you were talking about it, and then I was also saying, like, I hear that. I hear, taking people's feelings into consideration and being mindful of how you say stuff and what you say to people. But that's kind of where I came across with the whole, like, I hear what you're saying in that sense, but I think if it's going to benefit them in the long run, it's something that you'd want to say to them, because then it's like, at least you've done your part. And I feel like regardless of whether they take it in then and there in the spot, they may still take it in, because at the end of the day, they'll hear you. So maybe it's even something that, yes, they may not take it well, but it may be front of mind later on. And I feel like it's also good for like your conscience as well, because it's like people are going through some shit, and I understand a lot of people don't want to hear certain things. But like not my philosophy, but I'm like, I'd rather say it, because I suppose if we bring it back to the whole faith thing, if we know someone who's like going through it and they've tried this and they've tried that, and we know if we say something about God, they're gonna be like, hey, I'm not trying to hear that right now.
Yeah, they almost reject it.
Yeah.
I think they don't see how it's worked out.
Yeah, so I think rather than us being like, oh, I know this person will react like that, I think it's our duty to say, look, I feel like this will help you. Do you get me? Because I think it's not up to us to determine how someone will react. Even though we might be right, we probably will be right. But I think we need to do that thing, if you know what I'm trying to say. So it's like, I think the analogy that kind of makes it make sense for me is, if a child wants to play with a sharp object, obviously you're not going to let them play with it because you know this is going to do them harm. But at the same time, they may not react the best, and you probably know they're not going to react the best, but don't play with this. This is not good for you.
Even what the pastor said today, it was like, look, if you wanted your kids to be happy all the time, you're not going to give them drugs, are you? Because drugs are bad.
Yeah, facts. Even though they might be pretty happy.
They might be pretty happy.
Yeah.
You're not going to allow that.
It's a good analogy.
It's wrong.
So then I think the question is then in that sense is, how do we? Because for me, like, my style is, I'm very blunt. I'll just say it, because I feel like that's what the person needs to hear. So I will say it as it is. But I've also tried to learn as well how to say it to certain people, because not everyone will take bluntness really well. So I think what's like the best way, like let's create a scenario, right? Let's just say there's someone who's very sensitive
and closed off.
Yeah, sensitive, closed off, doesn't want to hear nothing about anything, about their scenario. How do you approach telling them something about themselves that they may not want to hear, actually?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Okay.
How would you approach? Because I just say as it is, I'm blunt. How would you approach it?
Okay. I want to hear your blunt, actually. Your blunt direction. How would you say it?
Just wake up, bro.
We're like, well, you want to...
Not wake up. No, rather than like, okay, let's just say this is the problem here in one hand. Rather than going around here and then saying, hey, tickle, tickle, this is what it is. I'm going to go straight... Tickle's crazy. I'm going to go straight to it.
Yeah.
Did you get me? So, but at the same time, you need to know... I don't know. I'm saying that as if it's like a one fixes all, one size fits all, because it's not. No. Depends on the actual person. So I do tailor it to a degree, but I will say what it is.
I know what you'd say.
Oh, that's it. But it depends. Yeah, go on.
You're like, hey, you need God, bro. That's what you would say.
Yeah.
You just keep it like that.
Yeah.
It's really short, simple.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's all it is.
Yeah.
In this scenario, at least.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Obviously, there's other scenarios where it's like, you need to...
Repent.
Okay. Not even you need to repent. But let's just say someone's like depressed or down in the dumps. I'll more than likely say, maybe it's this certain habit that you're doing is the reason why you're feeling like this. Even if they'll take it badly, but at least I know I've said that I've done my duty and I can almost not feel bad or feel like, because God forbid anything happens, you don't want to have that regret where it's like, oh, I should have said this, I should have told them, blah, blah. Do you get what I'm trying to say? True. So I think it's better for us to bite the bullet, no matter how they'll take it. You need to be that friend to say it. Because like our parents, like for example, our parents loved us. Well, one of mine did. So I think it's there's not everything she allowed me to do. even though I'd be so upset, like, why can't I do this? I really want to do this. But because she loved me, she said, no, you're not doing, I don't know, you're not staying up past this time, or you're not allowed to play with this person, because she knows this thing is ultimately bad for me.
Well, she knows what's best for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she knows what's best for me, but she also knows what's bad for me. So I think relationships that we have on a day-to-day with just friends and family, if we can see something is affecting someone or something is bad, or we know the solution, I don't think we should be shy about it and be like, oh, but they'll take it. Like, we're doing them a disservice. Like, just say it. Yeah. I feel like someone needed to hear that today. I don't know who.
Maybe someone did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you think someone else is going through, what doesn't matter how they'll take it. You've done your part.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like to tread carefully on that subject, because I never want someone to feel like I'm judging them or trying to offend them or even imposing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I am blunt. It just depends on the subject. And also, because I'm like a new Christian, I'm like, who do I think I am? Like, I'm only new. So it's like part of that is. But like,
I'm not solely talking about like telling people about God. I'm just talking about advice in general, opinions in general.
Oh yeah, no, I think with that I'm more blunt.
Yeah.
With that I'm more blunt. I'm like, look, you need to do this, this, and this, and this, and then it's up to you to actually action it, because I've done my part.
Yeah.
I've given you advice if you wanted it.
Yeah.
And I'm here if you need me.
Yeah.
But you do with that what you will. You came to me for advice.
Yeah. But even on the Christian side, I don't think you being a new Christian should stop you or prevent you from doing that. Because at the end of the day, it's like, if something's worked for you, why wouldn't you share it?
Yeah, true.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, randomly, let's just say I found a way to make unlimited amounts of money. I'm not going to wait for me to know how to, like, I'm not going to wait 6 months. I'm not going to do it for 6 months before I tell someone, because I'm like, oh, I only figured it out yesterday. I'm probably going to say it straight away. You see what I'm trying to say? So I'm like, this works now. And I know it's working now. So let me share that with my friend or my person now. So I think even when it comes to the whole, you being a quote unquote new Christian, it's still, if you see someone who's saying something and you feel like, I think God could help in that case, I'm going to say it. And I think you should say it. No?
Yeah. No, definitely. Because you're not meant to be a lukewarm Christian. I just think maybe in this society as well, like where there's just loads of people who reject God and things.
Yeah.
I think it can be a little bit intimidating sometimes, where, let's say you're in a room with friends or friends of friends, and you're like, oh, how will they take this? Because it seems that you're the only Christian there. And then if you're going to be, obviously that's what you should do, but I think there's a shyness to it sometimes. But that's not how you should be. And I'm trying to work on that you need to be loud. Yeah. You need to be loud about God. And I'm trying to be more like that. But obviously, it's like you said, I'm like a completely different person now. So it's like, I don't know.
So I think what you should ask yourself as well is like, are you shy or are you ashamed?
No, I'm not ashamed.
Cool, because it does say in the Bible not to be ashamed. I think it's Romans 1:16. Are
you sure? Or are you just...
No, facts.
Really?
Why would I just randomly say it? Search it up.
Okay.
Why are you violating?
No, I'm not. I'm just...
Are you sure?
No, I just...
Check it up. Type in Romans 1:16.
And what...
I know this for a reason, because I used to bang my gospel tunes back in the day. There was a group called... It's like Lecrae. You know Lecrae that I was telling you about? He was in a group called 116. And it was him, Triple E, Tadashi. A load of like artists, basically, rappers. And that's who I used to bang out. And they all had like 116 tattoos, and I really wanted one as well.
Oh, you should get it. Oh, you did mention that, actually.
Yeah, but yeah.
What, Romans 1:16, yeah?
Read it.
For I am not ashamed of this good news about Christ. It is the power of God at work, saving everyone who believes, the Jew first and also the Gentile. So the Gentile being the non-believer.
I'll take my apology.
I'm sorry. That's... Well done.
Why do you seem so shocked?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose not every day I'm quoting scripture like that, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think you need to figure out which one it is, because if you're ashamed, then it's like, I think that's something you need to solve.
Yeah.
If you're shy, like for me, I think when I was younger, I used to be shyer about it, especially growing up in Ireland, because it's not like I wouldn't be talking about Jesus Christ in Ireland.
You'd think you would be. It's a Catholic country.
Yeah, Catholic, yeah, but It's
Still.
the same way the UK is Christian, but you know what I'm trying to say. What you see outside doesn't reflect that.
But you just hear every Irish person say, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Yeah, so I think it's the countries are Christian by culture, but not by faith, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So anyway,
definitely.
so I think I was definitely like, we could say borderline ashamed of it, but I think now in my day to day, it's the fact that like I've noticed as well, it just kind of comes up in conversation now.
I search for it in conversation.
Really, for me, it just comes up.
Yeah.
Because people.
Well, that's what I kind of
it's
mean
just-
as well. Like, but I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, we were having drinks with our friends not too long ago.
Who? Oh, yeah.
And
Upstairs.
Yeah. And I was so close to getting onto the subject about it because we were talking about, I think the subject was, I'm responsible for my own success. I'm doing this, I do that, I do that. And I was like, do you believe that you're capable of doing all this for yourself? Or do you not think that someone higher than you or above you is doing this on your behalf? Or do you think this is
Solely
all you?
Yeah.
And so I was getting something because it's like I always want to talk about it, especially to someone who doesn't necessarily believe as well. So I just want to plant a seed. So I do search for it in conversations where, it's not random. It's not as if they're talking about a TV show and I'm like, yeah, do you know Jesus though? It will be there. It'll be a segue.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, when I speak about myself, I think, crazy. Yeah. I just had the thought there. I think the more you align yourself with God, the more it will come up. So not to say, like, I'm still trying to align myself even more with God, but I think, yeah, like, even like when someone asks me how I got into what I do now, it comes up. Do you get me? If someone's asking me anything to do with like stress or ideas or it comes up because it just does, because that's what I kind of do now. Maybe if they're asking me how often I go to the gym, etc., it won't come up. But then if they ask me, I was trying to think of something gym related. It's not coming to me. But yeah, I think naturally, I think as Christians, it should come up with a lot because
it's relevant in everything.
Yeah, true. But at the same time, don't be that person who's like stuffing it down people's throat.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you still have.
Do you think then,
Interest.
when
Go
we're
on.
walking down Market Street in Manchester, which is
the Donny shouting.
Yeah, this happens in almost every British town. So you'll go through town and there's usually someone preaching.
Like
But there's usually, but usually it's I think it's done the wrong way.
Okay.
Because it's usually like it's always the way Jesus died for our sins. He died on the cross. Blood of Jesus. The devil's gonna try and hurt you. All of that, but it's very intimidating, and I wouldn't be persuaded into going to church through that personally. And I've never.
That was what I was gonna say though. Personally.
Yeah, personally.
So even me, if I hear that, I'm like, good Lord, this guy. Do you get me? But at the same time, it's like there is people who will hear that.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same way, because I think the issue, like, if you bring it back to like education in school, right? When we all go to school, there's like 30 of us in the class. We're all taught the same way, even though we're 30 different individuals. So, and I think that's flawed because we're 30 individuals, we all
are going to learn.
We all take information in very differently. So I think even on that, I think, yes, it doesn't suit us, but I reckon there is people that hear that. And even like, if someone's walking by and someone's preaching and he hears them say a certain line, like maybe Jesus died on the cross for you, but you just continue walking, that might come up in their brain later in the evening.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
what did he mean by that?
Maybe.
They might search that. Like, what do you mean, Jesus, like for me? And do you get what I'm trying to say? So I think it's not my way of approaching things, but look, at the end of the day, as long as they're preaching Jesus and Jesus died for us, rose in 3 days. Do you know what I mean? That the gospel, essentially, I think there's no harm in how they're like. I guess it doesn't harm anyone. It is very. I do get what you're saying. It's very like, if you don't repent, you're gonna go to hell.
Yeah, but then
that
invites.
It's like a scare tactic. Almost.
Well, yeah, but also it can invite debates as well. So I mean, I think I walked past Market Street one time where someone was talking with this guy, and she looked like a Karen, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like, I doubt she's getting prayed for. Like, she looks like she's on a mission.
Yeah.
And she was debating everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not my personal preference. And that's not how I would talk about it to others as well, just because of how I would like to learn and to be taught. So yeah, I try and go about it the more
passive approach.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think there's any correct way in doing it. I do feel what you're saying. It is, because I don't think people should be scared into believing in God. Because at the end of the day, it's like God's given us free will. Like, he wants us to love him, and he wants us to make the choice to love him. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So being scared, like believing in God only because you don't want to go to hell, is the wrong way about it.
It works for some. That's why Catholics exist.
Yeah, but
it's very much based on fear.
Yeah, so is that correct?
No, it's not correct, but
what?
It works. It works for some.
What does works mean, though?
I think people they believe that faith and Christianity shouldn't be enjoyable. I think they think that you should suffer because Jesus suffered.
Interesting.
And so I think that when they see churches like ours, where there's music, it's almost like a concert.
Yeah.
And they're seeing people so happy about God.
Yeah.
They're like, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way to do it. Just how I'm saying, like, they're not doing it wrong. It's just not my preference. So there's different themes of Christianity for different people. And you just go to which one suits you. I like the, less fearful approach.
As in understanding, like building an actual relationship with God. Yeah. Like, because this guy loves you, bro.
Yeah, because even like when I was chatting to the pastor, she before I went to our church, she was like, we're not religious church. And when I say we're not a religious church, it's because like, it's not like a Catholic church or anything like that. We are we love Jesus and we want a relationship with him. That's our church. Is building a relationship. Because religion just seems very structured, strict, culty. And so I think that's where a lot of churches can go wrong, in my opinion.
Interesting take.
Yeah. You agree?
Yeah, no, obviously. Yeah, no, facts. I think it's it's different. It's different for different people. And I think, people, I'm just repeating myself, but people take stuff in differently. So shout out to the people on the streets evangelizing, because someone needed to hear something that they've said. Yeah. And I think even what we're doing now, speaking on the podcast, that's another form of evangelizing. Because not everyone listens to the podcast, and it's not a bit of everyone, but whoever does. Do you know
what I mean? What was nice, actually? On the way to church on Saturday with Mum, it was actually a female driver that picked us up. And that was so nice. I've never had a female Uber driver before.
Really?
Yeah, and you have?
Well, not in the UK. Actually, it wasn't in the UK. They do a lot in Spain, I noticed. Well, it wasn't even Uber. It was like a driver. But
oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. Anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah, and it was just really, really nice, because it was just like, oh, hey girl. It wasn't like, hey girl, but it was just, you felt like safer anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, she obviously noticed that we were going to church, because she dropped us outside of it. And she goes, have a nice prayer time. And my mom was like, thank you, we'll pray for you. And like that people can take that, anyway. Some people will be like, oh, thank you. And we'll be like, oh, thanks, I don't need praying for. People take it in different ways. So it's always, I always think it can be a bit like, oh, you don't know how they're going to react. And she was like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a nice encounter.
But I think that's another example of like not really caring how people will take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just say it.
Exactly. Just
see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at least you've like you said, planted the seed.
Yeah, and I think that's probably made her day. She was so happy.
Yeah, that's
she was like, thank you. Yeah.
But so come here. There's something I seen online while I was scrolling the internet, and there was a video on Instagram. Pardon?
The Matrix.
Don't try that.
Why? You do it all the time.
That's my point. I'm not a victim to the Matrix.
But you found it on the Matrix.
I was in research. Should we explain to the viewers what you do on TikTok and Instagram? What you be watching? Exactly. You can't even think
that makes it sound bad. Like, what?
Yeah, you just be watching rubbish.
It's So do you.
No, I watch, like I said, I watch kickboxing, Muay Thai, and what I'm trying to show. Anyway, there's a video I watched, and this guy had a very interesting take. We'll watch it now. So on YouTube, I'll put it on the screen. But I think for audio guys, you guys can just listen through the mic. This is our first time doing this. Look at those reacting. Let's get this thing.
You want to be successful in life.
Yeah. Are people in your family that successful where you want to be?
No.
So you asking them to understand what you're going to do is a flawed strategy. They've never done it. They don't understand it. You see further than they can see. It's not bad. It just is. And your need to have them agree with you is actually a character flaw that you have, not that they have. So every time I call my dad, do you know what I tell him every fucking time?
What?
Dad, I'm happy. I'm healthy. Kids are happy and healthy. Renee's happy and healthy. We're doing incredible. Do you know that's all your parents want to know? So just tell them that. They don't need to know your dreams, your goals, your vision. Why? The only reason you want them to know is because you want them to be proud of you. When you win.
Anyway, so there's a line he said there, right? Basically, your need to want people to understand you or your vision is a character flaw in you.
But
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's really interesting because we're always thinking, oh, they don't get me. They're just so behind.
I know.
They're just
Like, why don't you see
the
vision? Like, there's much.
You've just got an old mindset. You got a poor mindset, broke mindset. You're just
like, wake up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing this. I'm doing this because I further educated myself on finances. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
So, Jesus Christ, yeah, those facts.
It always starts that way.
It's always Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Always.
So it's like, where is that come? Like, yeah. So he said that's a character flaw in you. So in us. What are your views on that? When he says character, do you agree with it? First of all, do you agree?
I actually do.
Okay, why?
Only because I've been confronted with it and it makes sense. Like before I'd be like, yeah, why don't they get that? But then it's like, why do I care if they get it or not? They're their own person, have their own life experiences.
But do you think you want them to get it because you care about them, or do you want them to get it for some other reason? Because that's what I'm trying to get into. Like when he said character flaw, I was like, oh, so flaws aren't generally good things.
No.
So I'm like, so what's it in me that's so pressed by people not understanding what I'm trying to say in terms of like...
I don't think it's healthy because then it means that you're putting your beliefs on like a pedestal almost, and you're wanting people to always be in agreement with you. That equals your beliefs. So like validation almost. Validation, yeah.
Do you think it's that?
I think it's that.
So do you think we're insecure in that vision we're talking about and the fact that someone else isn't getting it?
Yeah,
that we're
100%.
like
100%.
Just an insecurity then?
Yeah, because I genuinely believe that if you weren't insecure and you're a successful business owner, you made your money doing this, this, and this, and this. For example, let's take crypto. Let's take Bitcoin, for example.
Yup.
Investing in it like 10 years ago, or even let's say 10 years ago, people were very skeptical. People are even skeptical now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, if you put that idea and say, oh yeah, I'm investing in Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin? Oh yes, it's coin. It doesn't really exist. It's not like physical. But yeah, it's gonna do numbers. I predict it will do numbers.
It's gonna go to the moon.
Yeah, and people were like, okay, that sounds like rubbish. It just sounds like a scam to me.
Yeah.
Now, if that person already knew how well it was going to perform, like predicted the future almost, they really wouldn't care what that person thinks. They're like, okay, fine, you'll see.
But even if this is like your family member, let's use it as family.
Yeah, but it's still like, if you're that secure and you know it's going to work, and even if it doesn't, you're secure in your beliefs, then you shouldn't care what other people think.
Interesting.
But then if you're insecure about it, you're still probably not sure on it yourself. You can get easily persuaded into backing on your idea.
Yeah.
Or retracting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it comes down to insecurity off that idea.
That's interesting, because I think, like, even for me, it's like when someone doesn't agree with my ideology of like how we can be great and we can do the best we can, and there's infinite funds out there, we can all make loads of money, blah blah. It's like, before this convo, obviously, I'm obviously thinking like, why aren't they like on board with that? Like, because obviously, doesn't everyone want to reach their full potential and this and that, etc., etc. So then, obviously, now I'm seeing, and for me, it's like I always say this thing where like if something doesn't make sense, there's always information missing.
Yeah.
So like, you know, when someone's doing something and you don't get it, there's something they're not telling you, or there's something you don't know about them. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So in this scenario, it's like you can be telling people like you need to post, you need to do this, and if you're doing this for your business, you need to get out there, and they're just not agreeing with you. They're not really taking you seriously, and then it annoys you. I used to see it as a them thing, but then when he said it's like a character flaw in us or me, I'm like, yeah, like why am I so pressed at this person? Because then I could obviously think like I'm just passionate and I want the best for this person.
Yeah.
But then obviously now he's saying it's character flaw. I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. So then, but where is this need actually not altruistic as I thought it would be? Altruistic basically means selfless. Yeah. So then, yeah. So basically, the combo was just very interesting. So I'm like, I thought it was a them thing, but maybe it's a me thing. So I think, so do we now approach it as a, you know, if you don't want the best for yourself, hey, it's up to you? Or,
yeah, it goes back.
But at the same time, it's like, what's my view of best for yourself could be very different to their view. So maybe it's not even best for yourself.
Yeah.
It's just they don't want to tap into that, like,
risk, maybe,
if that's what's involved or something like that. But yeah, it was just very interesting. And then like this guy, for example, just said basically don't tell your family, your friends, and I guess people who don't agree with the bigger picture, the vision, don't tell them about it. Like, how do you feel about that part?
Yeah, well, interestingly, it kind of relates to Mr. Beast and Stephen Bartlett's interview recently. So Mr. Beast was, or Jimmy, I should say, he was saying
you
that...
don't know him like that. You don't know him like that. First name basis, you know.
He was saying that back in school, he wasn't doing his homework. He was fixated on YouTube, video editing, he just always wanted to have a business. He never cared about school, and it would drive his mum nuts. And he said to her one day, look, if you care so much about my homework, why didn't you do it?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Imagine saying that to my mum.
And he was like, yeah, that wasn't nice to say, but that's to give an idea of how much he did not care.
Yeah.
About homework. And she never saw the vision. And even when he was making like so much money, she even saved aside like $5,000 for him. And he found out about it, and he was like, Mom, why are you keeping this $5,000? Like, she was like, oh, I was saving it for you in case of anything going wrong. Because he would, as soon as he would get money, he'd spend it all on a video, like he does now. Like he just spends so much money on another video. And that's how he's always been, he said. And so to her, she never understood. She was like, no, you need to go to school, you need to go to college, you need to get a good job. And that's her idea of success.
Yeah.
And it took like quite a few years for her to finally understand what his thinking was. And he was saying that, look, she's right in what she was saying, but it's only because she didn't understand my vision and I didn't understand hers. But it doesn't mean hers was wrong. It just wasn't right for me. And so he didn't expect her to understand. And if he did, and put all of that weight on her approval, he wouldn't be where he is now.
Facts.
So he went for it. He didn't care about what she said or what her views were, in a sense. Even though she was right, it just wasn't for that person.
So what's the lesson in that then?
Not one size fits all. Just because someone else has a vision for you doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So like you said, like, just what's best for you isn't necessarily best for that other person.
Yeah.
So you just got to do your own thing and wholeheartedly believe that it's going to work out and not listen to anyone else, whether that is maybe family or friends.
Do you think you should share your ideas and plans with family? Or does it depend on your family?
I think it depends, because my family is very supportive. So,
yeah,
I'll always tell them what I'm up to. Maybe it doesn't need to be the ins and outs because it's not necessary.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, by the way, I'm starting this new project, or I got this new job. Yeah, share it with your family. But I'm very private still. Like, I don't share a lot of it.
Yeah, but I think
it depends.
I was actually talking to your mum yesterday when you're out at your networking thingy. I was saying that she's privileged that you're privileged to have her because she's very like open-minded with stuff.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
even with what you're doing now, like you said, she's very supportive and stuff like that. But not a lot of families have that.
No, not at all.
So there's certain families where you could be starting this or starting that, but I think if there's like limiting, like the team of the family is just limiting beliefs and stuff like that, then generally you bringing a new idea to them or saying, hey guys, I want to try this or try that, you probably can't. So I think even in that, it's like, I think it's important to share with someone, but I think you need to find that community, whether that's online or in person, so you can share, because I think ideas need to be nurtured. I think keeping them in your head doesn't allow you to
grow.
Yeah, doesn't allow you to grow. So I think it is important that you get it out there. You tell people who understand the vision, so you can get some feedback and test your ideas, test your theories, and even like if it's people who've done it before, maybe have done something similar. I think those are the people you need to tell.
Definitely,
not people who are going to limit it
just because they're close by.
Yeah.
So just because they're close by, like in your town, in your small network, doesn't mean that you need to share everything with them. Even if you have to go off and find those right people. But also, like going back to the whole open-mindedness of families and so on, I think that a lot of the time, parents who push their idea of success on their kids, it's to look good on the parent. Because it's like to say, oh, my kid is doing this. My kid's doing that. My kid is a doctor.
Facts.
My kid is a lawyer. What's yours? And it's all just so that they can gossip at church or gossip at the, I don't know, just on
wherever
Facebook, wherever. It's like, well, my daughter's doing this. And I think it's all for the parent, because it's like, if you genuinely care about your kid, you just want them to be happy. But you also want them to reach their full potential as well.
Facts.
So you don't want them to come back and say, I'm just going to do this. I can just get a job at the local supermarket or OF or whatever.
God forbid.
And it's like, that they can do more than that.
Yeah, exactly.
If they want to.
Yeah.
But it's not about you, it's about the kid.
I see you're speaking to the parents today.
Speaking to everyone.
Yeah. Not yours, but I mean the parents. Okay, but back to this whole community thingy. You went to your networking event, actually.
That's why I'm so tired.
Your property networking event. Was that last night? How was that?
It was good. Yeah. Normally,
give us context. What's this network and stuff that you're in?
So I belong to a property network.
Belong is crazy.
Really?
Sounds like a cult.
No,
I belong to them. No, you signed your life away.
No. So I'm with an property networking network.
High level.
Yeah. So I think there's about 100 members in there at the moment.
Oh, I swear.
I think so.
It's like half that when you join.
Oh no,
right?
maybe I'm not.
Oh, you're tripping.
No. I think that includes couples though. So I think the cap is like 50 members. But obviously, it's more if there's a couple. But technically, it's one member. But anyway, so based around mainly Manchester is where most of them are based, and there's some in London as well. But yeah, it honestly is so high. It's such a high level network, because any questions.
Any examples of stuff that you can say? Without getting specific, but in terms of like to give them an idea of the scale of stuff that they're working on.
Oh yeah, so for example, someone put in the chat that they know a block of flats near a hospital that's going for a mill. So if anyone's interested, 2 minutes later, someone's like, I got an investor for that.
Love that. That's crazy. So yeah, love that. Those are the group chats you want to be in, man.
Those are the group chat, and it's always active.
Facts.
Always active. So I'm really, really like blessed to be part of that.
Caveat though, it is paid.
Yeah.
So people know.
Yeah, of course it is paid. You got to pay to get in certain spaces.
Yeah, facts, yeah.
But it pays off.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it means that when I go off and do certain things in property, I've got the right team. I know exactly what contractor I'm going to use. I know what exactly the project manager I'm going to use, solicitors, brokers, surveyors.
Because they're all in that community.
Because they're
basically
all in that community.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just so good. If I've ever got a question, if someone doesn't know the answer, they can put me in touch with someone else. And there's that trust there as well. There's that trust. It's a community. So I went to that last night. They have networking events every month or two. And yeah, it was really good. Usually, because I don't really like going out, and it's Saturday night and I had such a long day, like, I'm pretty tired.
Couldn't be arsed, yeah.
But I know that this isn't just any old networking event. These are like my people now. Like I've been to a few of them before. I know them now.
Yeah.
And there's also people that I'm going to meet for the first time as well. And it's just about building connections and all of that. It was really, really good. It was really good.
Is there anything you took away from it?
Yeah, I made some contacts that I'll be reaching out to in the future for certain projects. And I was just talking to like-minded individuals as well. Like I spoke to a woman who's a little bit older than me, just by a few years, and she's done like three flips all on her own, just on a whim as well. And so now she's going to take it seriously. And I was like, wow, like you are amazing.
Yeah.
Like she just
What's a flip for people who don't know?
It's where you buy like sort of a rundown property and you can either take it back to brick. So back to brick would be just taking the house back to like bricks, literally, or back to plaster. So you're not doing like a crazy whole big refurb. Still big refurb, but there's back to brick would be crazy. And so that's where you do a refurb on the house and then you sell it on for a profit.
So when you do the refurb, it raises the value of the house.
It raises the value of the house, exactly. So you take an old house that needs a lot of work done. Maybe it needs an extension. Maybe turn it into another bedroom. Maybe turn it into flats, whatever, conversion, whatever. And then sell it on.
Easy peasy, huh?
Apparently. In theory.
But she's done three so far,
She's done
right?
3 so far. And that was on a whim. She started just because she had some money from her business.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, you're amazing.
Yeah.
So I was chatting to her for a lot of the night. And it's just meeting up with people who are further ahead than you as well. And it's where you can get inspired.
Yeah.
But it's a great network.
So this network now, obviously everyone's doing quite well in it. And they're all obviously big thinkers, I can assume, right? Because they're doing big things.
Yeah.
How would you describe like the quality of people? So in terms of like, is there a certain quality that they all tend to have? Actually, that's the question.
Big thinking. Like they're not limited by smallness.
Okay,
or by small ideas.
Yeah.
So honestly, every member is high value, and everyone I spoke to yesterday, just good vibes, and they don't have a small mindset either. So, and by that I mean a lot of them are in property, obviously for profit, right? But it's like to create generational wealth. It's to create like businesses. They're not the type of people to be thinking, okay, I need to get a job for a few years, then retire on that. It's not traditional.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I mean by that. So we've all got that in common, which is just our way of thinking. There's no small-mindedness in this group whatsoever. Okay,
so that's like mentality. Is there any behaviors that they all have? That you've noticed, like when it comes to this group, I've noticed they act a certain way.
Oh, they act quick.
So speed.
Yeah, speed. Yeah, absolutely. For example, if I have a question and I need to get something done, I will get a number of a person who can help me do that or whatever. Like they act with speed for sure. Yeah, they don't wait around. But the network is really, really great. Everyone is of high value. And that's I would always recommend, if you can, like pay into a network, whatever field you're in. So for some people that might be even maybe not Soho House, but maybe it's just applying to something like Soho House, so you can be around like-minded people, or paying for certain mentorship so you can have access to other high individuals, but paid to get into spaces, because you might think, okay, yeah, but I'm paying X amount a month, X amount a year, but you're not then thinking about what that can pay you back.
The return, yeah.
Yeah, you got to think about the return.
I guess because there's a barrier of entry, it just means the quality of, because obviously the more you pay, the higher the quality of people. Look,
all of these people in this network know way more than I do. So why wouldn't I ask them for their help and for their advice?
Facts.
Like, it's I'm so grateful for the network, honestly. And it was a friend of ours who introduced me to them.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you. There you are. So yeah, invest in your network, guys. That is the biggest lesson I can give you, really, is invest in your network.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where do you find these networks though?
I
Obviously
found it-
yours is recommended, but for other people, how do they find these ones?
Honestly, usually it's through word of mouth, but online. So if you're already, let's take property for example. A lot of property people follow the same people. So a lot of the time, so you'll always hear about it through the grapevine that way, potentially. But also the big thing for me is that it was local to me, because I didn't want a mentor that's based in London. I don't want to go to London.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so now, so I think it was episode 4 or 5. I think it's 5. We slightly introduced the big picture questions, which I think we need to figure out a better name for it. I think we should do like the growth question of the week or something like that. Yeah, I think I like that. Someone in our comments actually called us out, so you know who you are. So thank you for that.
Yes, thank you.
He was like, what happened to the growth? Yeah, it's to the big picture questions. So anyway, we're going to bring it back. He also suggested that we make an email address for us. So an email address where people can email their answers.
Yeah, because,
and maybe even questions as well.
Yeah, because I do agree with that, because you know a lot of the questions are personal, and I don't think someone wants to comment.
Oh no, of course not. Yeah, I don't think we should have people comment, but I think it's I want to create that space we want to create that space where people can
email in. It's private.
Yeah, and discuss that with someone. So I think so. In essence, these questions are going to be very thought provoking and deep to really like challenge you, because the questions need to. It's the grow club. We all want to grow. So the questions need to challenge you to grow.
Stir conversation.
Exactly. So we're going to ask this week's question. And
drum roll, please.
We're going to answer it on air. And then we'll discuss other people's answers next week at the start.
Okay.
We'll just quickly get into them, go through them, quick chat, and then we'll move on. So I'm going to ask you this week's. Jasmine hasn't seen it.
Oh dear.
So I'm going to ask her now and we'll both answer it.
I was going to say, because I haven't got one for you.
No, we'll both answer the same one. So this is now the segment, the growth question of the week. Are we going to go with that?
Yeah, that makes sense. On brand.
Guys, let us know in the comments, because we're still trying to like build this podcast, and you guys need to build it with us. Like we're all a family. Podcast. Hey. Okay. I just read it and I already have an answer. Oh, my answer is a bit deep.
Okay, ask me first.
No, I'm gonna ask you first. Yeah, no, of course. Okay, so question is, what scares you the most about achieving everything you're working towards?
What scares me most about what
scares you the most about achieving everything you are working towards?
Okay, so at first I was going to say if I lost everything, but then you've already said achieve, so I've already achieved it.
Or achieving. The question is achieving. So what scares you the most about achieving everything you're working towards? You have to be honest with us now.
Yeah, I would say like losing it, but then I don't want to even put that out there, because if I've already achieved it, then that's great. Okay, I can't lose what I've achieved, right?
Okay.
So then the second thing would be, I'd be scared of missing out on experiences in the lead up to achieving my dreams.
Interesting.
Because obviously, like right now, we don't get to do everything we want. We work a lot. We don't have so much spare money where we can just be like, yeah, let's just go to Bali for a month. Not yet, anyway. So it's like, because we travel less and maybe we're not seeing other people, maybe family members, or experiencing things as much as other people. Maybe that's one thing that I don't want to just miss out on. That can be pretty
Sounds
scary.
Like you're asking me?
No, I know. I know.
You're thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But I think that's the only thing
so
I would be scared about if I achieved everything. It's like, okay, but because I don't want to miss out on anything either.
So
like important things.
Not being present then is what you're kind of scared of, and potentially missing experiences in that chase.
Yeah, and being stressed by achieving the dream, that it takes me away from the present as well. Because, for example, like I've had a stressful week with my Airbnb, and so I was just praying that, like, look, my mum's here this weekend. I don't want any trouble with my rental unit. I just want to enjoy and be present with my family. And so I was praying for that. And thank God I haven't had any, messages or
Yeah,
nothing's
okay.
pulled me away from family time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's the only thing that scares me about, achieving my dreams. It's like, I don't want anything to pull me away from family time, because
Yeah.
that's the most important thing ever. Like, building your dreams, building generational wealth, of course, is important, but family time is more important than everything.
Yeah.
Just your family.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to look back and be like, yeah, okay, I built this, but what's
At what
happened?
cost? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you always got to keep that in mind. And I feel like some people can get so caught up with the grind and the journey and what they're trying to achieve, that they can kind of like skip past the people who are helping them along the way, like family members and maybe your relationship or someone. I just don't want them to realize that too late.
So, okay, so what I'll ask is then, what can you now do now to prevent that?
Just continue being as present as possible, and just always remember that, look, nothing's that deep. You'll get it done. Just don't neglect what's around you as well. Always appreciate what's around you.
Interesting.
Yeah. What would your answer be?
Let me read the question again. What scares you the most about achieving everything you're working towards? Mine is it's kind of on that concept of time, but it's a bit morbid. It's a bit like, I want to be able to achieve everything that I'm trying to achieve whilst my like mom is still around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'd hate to make it, quote unquote, when she's not here and I can't like pay her back the way I wanted to.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a fear I have. It's like, I need to get this done like now.
It's kind of similar to what I'm feeling as well.
Do you think?
Because you want to be able for them to experience what this hard work has been for.
Yeah.
And so you want time with them and for them to experience all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
kind
yours
of links
is,
in.
Yeah. I think the time concept, yeah, but I think we're slightly different, because yours is, I want to be present with them now, I guess, because even just you being present this weekend, but mine's more so, I want to be able to do all those things I've planned to do for my mom before she goes. It's a bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think,
I agree with you though.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of like my, that's kind of like my biggest fear. Cause like I want to, like I'd hate to like, cause obviously like she obviously naturally parents do a lot for their children. So it's like, I really want to be able to give back, but then I'm kind of like, I look at my mom and she's like, oh my God, she's getting older. And I look at my account, I'm like, that number needs to go up too.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, 100%.
So it's like, I'm almost, obviously everything's in God's timing, but I really want a scenario where she's seeing she sees the fruit of her labor as well. Because obviously she put a lot of time and hours into me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see that point where, which, well, to be honest, if I ask her, she's probably like, oh, I've already seen it. I've done my job. But I want to actually be able to like bring my mom here, have loads of more experiences with her.
She can have her house.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like back home and stuff, and I have that sorted for her and do this and do that. So I think that's kind of like a fear that I kind of have in the back of my head. And then in terms of like fixing that or actioning on that, I don't know what I could do.
Yeah, just keep working. And also as well, don't let those negative thoughts come in either.
Is it negative?
Well, it's not positive, is it? I don't know, you could use it to push you to work harder. That could be your driving force.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like,
that's a mad force though. I need to do this before the time runs out. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. But don't be focusing on that either. Just do everything that you're continuing to do now.
Yeah.
Keep doing it, but also be present here while you can as well.
Yeah.
With her, always check in. Because it's like, you want her to be able to experience things, but also spend time with her now as well.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what she'll love more is just spending time with you than the lavish things that you want to treat her to, which is amazing, of course.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's personal connections that matter most. But you will get there.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not 99.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. She's not old.
Yeah, true.
But it is not realistic, but it is a realistic fear. Like, it's one that we all have. We all want to retire our parents.
Yeah, facts.
Like, because it's like, look, you've been working for so long. You're in this country, past your retirement age.
Yeah, slaving away.
Getting paid nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, we see that and we're like, right, they haven't been able to do it for themselves. Now it's our job to do it for them.
Yeah, facts.
So that's one thing that you and I have in common is like, we both want to retire our family.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, don't worry, I'll pay your wage and then some. Don't worry.
Yeah, you can work if focus on whatever you want to do.
Exactly. If you want to work, you can, but you don't have to. But let that be a driving force, really, than something that's
I hear you.
us.
Yeah, no, it's not like an everyday thing, but sometimes I'm like, shit, what if, like, do you get me? But yeah, I think that would be my answer. So yeah, guys, we're gonna leave a email.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me. I'm almost fucking burping on this pod. Yeah, and I'm gonna leave an email in the description. And once again, the question is, what scares you the most about achieving everything you're working for? So if you have free time, or if you want to use us to like vent or even, explore that conversation, you can send the email to our email that we're going to leave in the description. That'll be anonymous. We're not going to say like,
Carly X.
Yeah, James from New York said, we're not going to do all of that. But I think it'd be cool to see other people's perspectives or even see what their viewpoint is, and then maybe we can discuss and maybe shed some light on that or see
a different point of view even.
I think it's important to even just bring your ideas out, like we said, and discuss them and get feedback, and just to create a discussion, a bit more of a
community.
Exactement. But I think we're gonna call it a day. It's been just above an hour.
Yep.
I think today was a good pod. Yes. How do you find it?
Very intentional pod.
Yeah, very good pod, intentional pod. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Today is probably I don't know what day you guys are going to watch it, but the pod's going to be out on Monday.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys have a blessed week.
Have a blessed week, guys.
Stay motivated, stay strong, and stay growing.
And see you next week.
Like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe, please. Please.
He said please like 3 times, so do it. Don't make him kickbox you.
Yeah, exactly. I swear. All right. Peace, guys. Peace.
Bye.